Hello, I'm Aaron, and today we'll be talking about one of the most misunderstood mental illnesses of them all. Maybe because it's rare and only affects 1% of the population. But schizophrenia is a mental illness that literally means split mind, but the condition has nothing to do with split personalities. It actually refers to a split from reality. Schizophrenia is a chronic condition that usually surfaces for men in their early to mid 20s and for women in their late 20s. The illness can be triggered over time or suddenly by things such as stress or trauma, although no specific event can actually cause a disorder. Schizophrenia was once thought of as a single condition, but it is now on a spectrum of disorders, all varying in duration and symptoms. Schizophrenia is characterized by disorganized thinking, emotions, and behaviors that often don't fit with their situations, and disturbed perceptions, including delusions and hallucinations. It also typically involves some kind of loss of contact with reality on some level. The resulting behaviors and mental states associated with this break of reality are called psychotic symptoms, and they usually impair body function. When someone is experiencing these symptoms, their thinking and speech become disorganized and fragmented. This habit to pick up one train of thought and suddenly switch to another and then another can make communication very difficult. People with these symptoms can also suffer a breakdown in selective attention, losing the ability to focus on one thing while keeping the other thoughts out. Speech may become so fragmented that it becomes a little more than a string of meaningless words, a condition giving a name that sounds nowhere near the definition, word salad. For 4 out of 5 people, schizophrenia is often marked by delusions. These delusions can include thoughts from "I'm the Queen of England" to "I want an Olympic gold medal for eating hot dogs." Or they can become stories of abuse and paranoia, believing your thoughts and actions are being controlled by an outside force, or you're being spied on or followed, or that you're on the verge of a big catastrophe. While some delusions can seem fairly logical, they can also be severe and strange and frightening. People with schizophrenia also suffer from hallucinations. Auditory hallucinations, or hearing voices, is the most common form, and these voices are often abusive. It's as if the conversation that you have with yourself was somehow coming from outside of you. Honestly, I think it sounds terrifying. Other common symptoms include disorganized or abnormal behavior or emotions. This could mean laughing when recalling a loved one's death, or crying while others are laughing, acting like a goofy child one minute, then becoming unpredictably angry or agitated the next. Movements may become inappropriate and obsessive, like continually rocking back and forth or remaining motionless for hours. Through proper treatment, some people with schizophrenia have not only learned to live with their illness, but have made fantastic and creative contributions to the world. The main methods of treatment for schizophrenia include therapy and medication. Postmortem research on schizophrenic patients found that many have extra receptors for dopamine, a neurotransmitter involved in emotion regulation and the brain's pleasure and reward centers. Some researchers think that overly responsive dopamine systems might magnify brain activity in some way, perhaps creating hallucinations and other related symptoms, as the brain loses its capacity to tell the difference between internal and external stimuli. For this reason, dopamine blocking drugs are often used as antipsychotic medication in treatment. Clearly, schizophrenia is a challenging disorder to live with, and one that's hard for outsiders to understand. And I hope that you now know you can spot these symptoms and potentially assist anyone who has this illness. Thank you for listening. To find out more, head to www.sane.org for more information on schizophrenia and many other mental illnesses. If you're directly dealing with someone with any mental illnesses, make sure to call SANE Helpline on 1-800-187-263. The helpline is up from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.